The Vanishing Visa. There's a strange quiet forming in the immigration data, a gap where thousands of H-1B approvals used to be. A decade ago, Indian IT giants dominated the H-1B landscape. They were the pipeline, the gatekeepers, the engine that kept corporate America's back end running. Now, in fiscal year 2025, only three Indian-based companies even cracked the top 25 employers for new H-1B approvals. The top seven combined, 4,573 approvals. That's down 70% from 2015. On paper, it looks like a collapse, but look closer and it's more like a handoff. The visas didn't disappear, they migrated straight into the open arms of Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, the same companies pouring hundreds of billions into artificial intelligence. It's not outsourcing anymore. It's insourcing the future. And that's where this story gets messy, because the H-1B program has become the political equivalent of a Rorschach test. You see what you want to see. Silicon Valley sees competition. The MAGA base sees betrayal. Trump sees a workforce that doesn't exist in the US yet, and a political grenade that could blow up in his hands. He's defending H-1Bs at investment forums, saying the quiet part out loud. We're not going to be successful if we don't allow the experts to come in. Meanwhile, some of his most vocal supporters are online screaming that foreign workers are replacing American ones. Marjorie Taylor Greene already introduced a bill to phase out the entire H-1B system. Some people call it a fantasy proposal wrapped in populist packaging. But here's the blunt truth nobody wants to say in public. 70% of full-time graduate students in key STEM fields in the US are international. If America shuts the H-1B door, the talent doesn't disappear, it just relocates. Canada, Australia, the UK, all standing around smiling, visas in hand, saying, "Welcome." That's the real tension. Do you want fewer foreign workers, or do you want fewer American tech companies? Because right now, the US can't have both. And beneath the political noise sits one more twist. President Trump wants to install a 100,000 H-1B fee for new petitions, a price tag big business can pay, but startups can't. It's a velvet rope immigration policy. Pay to innovate or get left behind. While lawmakers argue, the data tells its own story. Transfers hit 68,167 this year. People hopping employers because mobility is the only leverage they have. Denial rates are back down to 2.8%, a far cry from the 24% peak of Trump's first term. So, what's really happening? Indian outsourcing firms aren't pulling back. They've become irrelevant to how the AI era hires talent. The battlefield shifted, and they weren't invited. The American tech giants stepped in, opened the door, and turned the H-1B into their private talent stream. It's not a scandal, it's a strategy. The immigration fight we're about to witness isn't about visas. It's about who gets to build the future and who gets locked outside the laboratory window watching. To keep up with what's happening now and what's happening next in the world of work, subscribe to the Recruiting Life newsletter over at jimstroud.com. Because when visas vanish from one column and reappear in another, it's never the paperwork that changed, it's the power.
It does right.